Hello there. It's me, Baldzer. You're wondering, I know some of you don't watch the Twitch. I got a weird haircut and a weird facial hair at the moment because we did a charity thing. It's the last week I've got to keep the handlebars, so can get rid of them soon. Anyway, today gonna do a little bit of havering once again. We're gonna be talking about the current situation with the SPL Phase 1 about to kick off, visa situation, and we'll do some quick predictions for Week 1 as well. We'll do some matchups. Well, we'll do some predictions for the Week 1 matchups. We can talk about them a little bit, but the thing I wanted to start off with talking about, and I'm not sure that everybody's aware of this, everybody seems to be at least tangentially aware and know what's going on from watching streams and having players comment on it, but it doesn't seem like there's been any official announcement as far as I'm aware. But we once again have visa issues with players trying to move over to the States to play in the Pro League. Right now, I believe the issues are largely, if not entirely, for European players. I know there's one Canadian player that has will not be playing from Atlanta, but we'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, basically, from what I understand, this is just hearsay on my part, but comes from pretty reliable sources, I'd like to think, is the players have been told that they need to get these visas. If they don't get the visas, if they move on an ESTA, for example, to the US, they cannot get paid their salary, as I understand it, and they need face-to-face interviews at embassies to get their visas, and the embassies will not give them the interviews, essentially, or their interviews. I know some of them were booked for like September or something like that, something ridiculous, like way in the future. So as it stands at the moment, there is a chance that some players won't make it to the US at all during Phase 1. That's what I'm hearing from pretty reliable sources, which sucks. You'd think with the visa problems we had before this year, it would have been a more streamlined process, but I guess with COVID, nothing is as it should be, right? I guess the question would be, knowing what we know now, which is, I'm talking in hindsight, would you have run a LAN Pro League at all this season? I'm not sure. I think at least Phase 1 maybe should have been an EU league and an NA league or something like that, and you just run them online. But yeah, it's not really worth talking about, is it? There's nothing we can do now to change the plans that have been drawn out, and it looks like it's just going to be very, very unfortunate for the European players that are not already relocated into the US. A lot of them are trying to get emergency meetings and such like, but for now I know that a good amount of people just seem pretty stuck on their visa process. Let's go through the teams and talk about which teams will have their players in the States and which won't. I was gonna use the esports website, but apparently it's broken again, which is a pain in the arse. They put out the wow, that's bright. They put out the shop for the Pro League site today, and it seems they have managed to break the regular site with the schedule and stuff like that, which is not ideal for me. But thankfully, we have the good old esports fandom website, which we can use, and we could use that, I guess, and we can go through it. We'll start off with the Atlantis Leviathans. They will simply be missing Julio, from what I understand. The other guys have all made it to Atlanta, or made it back to Atlanta. I'm not sure if they went home or what was going on with them. But Juli, stuck in Spain, will not be over there anytime soon, as far as I'm aware. Camelot Kings, they have some UK-based players who are already out there. I think Twig is definitely out there. I think Variety is still in the US as well. I could be wrong on that. Maybe he came back. But anyway, maybe Variety came back. But anyway, I know that Big Man and Genetics definitely are currently stuck in the UK. So they'll be playing on High Ping. Jade Dragons, all US-based team. So I believe they'll all be there. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. The Olympus Bolts, again, all US-based team with Laspera, who I don't believe went back to Denmark at any point. So he's still in the US. He's been slamming them queues. I mean, he's definitely still there. I know he's still there. I've been watching the stream. I'm not sure on the status of Rowe. That's one thing I don't know for sure, whether he's there or not. So I guess that's one thing to keep an eye on. But coaching, obviously, the ping makes less of a difference, funnily enough. Only Warriors, Nika and Vogt are already in the US. I actually spoke to Vogt when at the end of last season. He was like, I don't think I'm going to go back because I'm worried about the visa thing. And I was like, you'll be fine. You might as well go home, see your family. I've not seen them for ages, thank God. He did not listen to me. But Vogt and Nika still in the States. Cuvo, Dardes, both stuck in Europe for now. There might be some movement with them. I don't know how it's going in France or in Denmark. I know Fred was trying to get an emergency appointment. Don't know how that's going. Neil Ma as well is actually in Canada and has some reason that he has to stay in Canada for a little while. So I believe he'll be on slightly higher ping than usual to start off the season, probably like 100 or something like that. Whereas you're talking like 120 to 130, I guess, for the European guys. Solar Scarabs, all US based. I think Slaney stayed in the US as well. I'm not sure if he came back. So as far as I'm aware, they won't have any problems. Titans, same again. I believe Paul is the rest. US 4 players. Paul, Canadian. I think Paul's already in Atlanta. As far as I'm aware, Cherio wasn't going to be moving anyway. He is in Egypt and will be remaining there. So that team should have no ping issues. And the Valhalla Valkyries, you've got Ducky, Johnny, Zeros, Emily 2, Raffer, and Tigress, who all happen to be in Europe and all, as far as I'm aware, will not be making it over to the States for the start of the season. So this team seems to be at the biggest disadvantage. This is important for predictions, obviously, because the teams that are playing on EU ping to the NA servers are going to have a harder time of it. The Valks in particular might be the most screwed out of anyone. And I guess, is there much left to say on it? Sucks. It sucks. It's really lame. As far as I'm aware, the games will just all be played on NA servers. So the Valkyries, for example, won't have the option of playing one game of their best of 3 on EU servers, which I think would be more fair. But I guess they're just boned for phase 1, to put it as politely as, well, it's not particularly politely, is it? Yeah. To put it not that politely, they're just boned for phase 1. They're just, I just don't see any way that they can compete at the highest level while playing on, 100 ping higher than their opponents. We saw Genetics, a very mechanically good player, try and do it from support. Mechanically good for support, but he tried last year to play from EU, and didn't. I think he was all right, but it really limits your god pool and limits what you're able to do. You can't do things like beadsing a Sobek pluck become a real challenge, which you don't expect that in comp level games. You see the bush beads still, but it should at least be fairly easy to beads a Sobek pluck. But when you're on a U ping to NA, it's just not. It's the way it is. We'll see how these teams get on. Maybe I'll change my opinion as the league goes on, but it seems like the EU players are just at the players that chose to travel back to EU are just at a huge disadvantage. Hopefully the visa situation can be sorted out sooner rather than later. I don't know. I can't. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I don't know what's going on with these things. I don't know if things will open up more as people get vaccinated. I don't know if I just don't know, guys. I just don't know, team, what to expect when it comes to these visas. But I could see some of these players being stuck back home for the entirety of phase 1, which would be very, very unfortunate. Predictions for week 1. Okay, our first matchup is going to be, let me move this over on my main monitor. We're going to have the Titans versus the Kings. So the Tartarus Titans versus the Camelot Kings. That's Benji, Scary D, Paul, Aurora, Cyclone Spin, Cherio versus Variety, Twig, Big Man Things, Genetics, Netrioid, and Biggie. The Titans I already have as a pretty strong team. The Kings I think could be very strong, but they're not as proven. And with the ping difference between these two teams, I mean, you've got at least BMT and Genetics playing for Europe. I think Variety is still in Atlanta, but I'm not 100% on that. But regardless, I think with BMT and Genetics playing from Europe, I can see this being a solid win for the Titans. So I've got Titans 2-0 in this set. Leviathans versus the Bolts. So you've got Julio, Panatom, Shinto, Rongyu, Hardcore, and Oxylodon up against Haddix, Laspra, Ven, Jake, Barra, and Rowe. I'm going to give this one 2-0 to the Bolts. I think the Bolts have been grinding the game a lot in the off-season. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup in solo, actually. Julio and Haddix, two relative rookies to the scene, coming back in. So, yeah, I'm excited to see those two face off. We'll get to see our first sighting of Hardcore as an ADC up against Barra and Jake in the duo lane. So that'll be a real test for Ronnie and Hardcore, see how well they can play together. I just think that the Bolts stuck together. They seem to have worked pretty hard in the off-season, so I can see them coming in strong, taking down the Leviathans. I don't know what their practice schedule's been like, to be honest. And that's the last game for Friday. We got 2 games on Friday, starting at 6 BST, 1 p.m. ET. Saturday, we got the Warriors versus the Dragons to kick us off. That's Nika, Fred, Dardes, Neil, Vote, and Chuck versus Fino, Sam, Hurry, PBM, Panda, and Kabom. I got the Dragons in this one. Ping, Diff. When there's not too much information to go on, you could say Ping, Diff. The other thing is, I mean, this Dragons roster that's mostly stuck together, bringing in Hurry for Twig. I mean, they've always been regular season monsters, right? Over the last 2 years, they've been fantastic in the regular season. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think the addition of Hurry and Kabom has probably made them a stronger team. The other team, the Warriors, I mean, Dardes and Fred playing from EU is going to be tough on them, especially with the God pull that Dardes typically likes to run. If he switches it up, maybe you could see him picking up something like a Hera and being able to run that on high ping. We'll see Neil being on slightly higher ping as well. It's just all in all not ideal for the Warriors. Don't know what their practice schedule's been like as well. So we shall see. They strike me as a team that might have been struggling to find motivation to practice while not able to all be together and not able to play on proper ping, which is it's tough for them. So I've got the Dragons taking this one 2-0 again. Bolts versus Scarabs going to be our second game of Saturday. That's again the Haddix, Laspra, Ven, Jake, Barra, Rowe team. We've already seen them once. We'll see them up against the Leviathans, and then we'll see them up against the Scarabs. Our first look at the Scarabs. SOT in the solo lane, Layers, Jungle, Baronic, Mid, Inbound, Support, and Zapman ADC with Slaney as their coach. I have the Bolts again in this one. I just think, again, they've stuck together for a while. This is theoretically a top 4 team versus a bottom 2 team if you go by the majority opinion, which I agree with. I got the Bolts taking this one 2-0. Don't know, these teams I imagine will be practicing against each other, so it might be interesting to see how the play styles go up. I also think we could definitely see something spicy out of the Scarabs. The Scarabs could come in with cool ideas and cool plans, but I feel like right now, for me, the Bolts team outclasses them a little bit. That may change as the season goes on, but for now, 2-0 to the Bolts. Sunday. Dragons versus Kings to start us off. Again, that's Fino, Sam, Hurry, PBM, Panda, Kabom versus Variety, Twig, BMT, Genetics, Netrioid, and Biggie. I got the Dragons. I think it doesn't need too much breaking down. Again, you've got ping issues for the Kings. The Dragons, a team that have historically done very well in the regular season, basically stuck together. Very, very strong team as a whole. So I've got the Dragons taking that one. I'm going to go 2-0. Have I got any 2-1s in yet? I'll throw one in. No, I'm not going to throw one in. Maybe I am. Okay, Scarabs versus Valkyries, last game of the weekend. Solar Troll, Layers, Baronic, Inbound, Zapman, and Slaney versus Ducky, Johnny, Zeros, Raffer, Emil, and Tigress. as their coach. First time we get to see the Valks. Be interesting to see how they do. All on EU ping up against the Scarabs, all playing from Atlanta, presumably. I would expect they'll all have moved out, but I don't know for sure. I got the Scarabs 2-0. I just think the ping difference is going to be too much. We'll see how it goes. I had these two teams as in my head. I didn't really do a power rankings or anything, but I had these two teams as the bottom two going into the season. And I think that the Scarabs will have enough to get past the Valkyries in this case, 2-0. I think the Scarabs also have a lot to prove and will feel they have more to prove than the Valkyries. The Valkyries have the ready-made excuse of, we're playing on EU, it's impossible, blah, 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 blah. And the Scarabs, if they lose, this would be excruciating for them. So I feel like they're going to come in with more motivation, with more fire in their bellies, you know, and take this one down 2-0. I got the Scarabs taking that. Yeah. Okay. That's my predictions for week 1. I hope to see some great Smite. I'm hoping that things kick off in a better fashion than I'm seeing it going right now. I think, did I have all 2-0s? I think I had all 2-0s. So maybe, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we at least see one game 3. But yeah, I'm pessimistic about the EU players, to be honest. Maybe things get sorted really fast and we can the lawyers work some magic and we get the players out there for like week 2, week 3 of the SPL. That would be great. But right now, it's looking a little bit unfortunate for the guys based over in Europe. Guys and gal, I guess, with Tigris as well, not being able to move. So we'll see. That's it for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Might be coming out with some more content soon. I'm thinking about doing a tier list of all the new jerseys and stuff like that. Have a look at them and do a tier list, but we'll see. I think somebody already did it on Twitter, actually. So I've been outdone already. They only just came out. Too slow, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll try and be back. I will be streaming on Friday, 6 p.m. with the SPL kicking off. Hope to see you there. And yeah, enjoy your week. Thanks for watching. Bye.